ko lang po dun sa...
Okay.
So kay Titanani pala, okay. Weekly po talaga, nagre-remit ako sa kanya. So sabi ko po,
Saka nagre-remit kay?
minsan po, sa kanya mismo,
Sinong kanya?
kay Titanani po.
Okay.
So minsan po tatawagan niya ako, nandito ako sa baba, sa tapat na lang opisina ko yun. O minsan naman, pupuntahin niya ako sa isang lugar, doon kami mag-meet. So, weekly po yun, kada container po na napaparating ko. Doon naman po sa ano yung naging insurance ko po. Ang totoo po niyan, tama po kayo, parang sugal po yun. Pero ang naging basihan ko na lang po si Jojo Bacud kasi taga sa amin po siya eh. Kilala ko po siya noon pa. So,
Okay, si Jojo Bacud, kasama ba sa Dovo Group?
well, I assume kasi siya yung nag-ano sa kanila eh. Nag-refer sa kanila eh.
Okay. So,
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we invite Tita Nani and Jojo in the hearing.
With the indulgence
yeah, please,
of
yeah, sure.
Congressman Adyong. Yes, what is the motion?
That we invite a certain Tita Nani and Jojo in the next hearing.
There is a motion to invite a certain Tita Nani and a certain Jojo in the next scheduled Quadcom hearing. Duly seconded. Are there any objections? Hearing none, the motion is approved.
So,
Comsec, please invite the two personalities mentioned.
Sir Chair.
Please proceed.
Yes, please help me understand, Mark. Gusto ko lang talagang yung the whole transaction that happened. I want to know, earlier, you responded na you've been paying 170,000 to Tita Nani, di ba?
Hindi po.
I'm sorry, to the customs, yung Tara system. That's it.
Yung 170,000 po yun, may breakdown
Per
po
container,
yun.
yes, okay.
So may tara doon, meron din customs duties, merong shipping line.
So this is already exclusive of the 5 million enrollment fee.
Bukod
Okay, bukod pa yon. So hindi yun guarantee na dahil nagbabayad ka ng 170,000 ay enrolled ka na. Tama? Enrolled ka na meaning nakapasok ka na dun sa grupo na magpo-protect sa tayo, sir, di ba? Tama?
po.
Okay. So when you were asked to pay for the 5 billion, ibig sabihin this is another layer of protection naman. Tama ba?
Hindi po, yung 5 billion po yun, ano yun eh, pagpasok mo pa lang sa
Yun
kanila.
nga, exactly, yeah. Kasi ang gusto kong tanungin is why do you have to pay for another 5 million when you were already dealing with the same persons? You were already helped by, kasi di ba sabi ko kanina, the reason why na nagtiwala ka kasi lahat ng mga transactions mo before napalabas, di ba?
Ito po.
Okay. So, now, dahil malaki yung tiwala mo, ang tanong ko is you were already dealing with the same persons, Tita Nani, etc., ganito. So my question is, why do you have to pay for another 5 million pesos over and above those amounts that you're paying these people kung meron na kayong engagement early on? Gusto ko lang maintindihan, help me understand. Kasi parang ang impression sa akin, Mr. Chair, pardon my ignorance, gusto ko lang talaga malaman. It's going to be another layer of protection, if you ask me. Because you need to pay up a additional 5 million insurance policy, di ba? Ganon yung labas niya sa akin eh. Yes. Gusto ko, paintindi mo daw sa akin, Mark?
Yung 5 million po, isang beses lang po ako nagbigay sa kanila.
Okay.
Yung pumunta po ako ng Davao. Ano lang yun, kumbaga, walang container na involved doon. Ano lang yun, baga,
okay.
para makapasok ka lang sa kanila.
Okay, now I understand. Okay, so ibig sabihin, kailangan talaga nila for your protection.
Opo.
Okay, so ganun yung pagkaano ko. So, ngayon, ang tanong ko ngayon, you've mentioned big names, di ba? Parang ang na-mention mo is, isa sa nagtiwala ka sa mga taong to, nagbigay ka ng 5 million because may nami-mention sila ng mga pangalan tulad ng yung si Man Scarpio, Attorney Man Scarpio, Congressman Pulong Duterte. What made you at least convinced na talagang isang grupo ito at ito sila Nani, ito sila, sino pa yung mga na-mention mo ng mga pangalan, ay talagang magagamit nila, if ever, no, presumed, no, na the allegation is magagamit yung kanilang influence. So what made you convinced na itong Davao Group ay talagang sila yung nabumuo nito?
Yun nga po. Yung mga container ko nga po is na green lane po lahat. Ang totoo po niyan, kung tutuusin, nabanggit ko lang talaga sila sa congressional hearing nung last time eh. At yun nga po, dahil yun po yung pakiramdam ko na kung bakit nagkaroon ng kamalas-malasan itong buhay ko. Hindi ko po talaga balak na sabihin yung mga pangalan nila ng mga panahon na yun. Marami pong congressman noon na marami nagtatanong, talagang hindi ko po ako handa. So bigla akong nabanggit yun. At yun nga, ako talaga wala naman akong pakialam kung sino man.
Nabanggit mo kasi sinasabi sa'yo.
Opo.
I mean, sinasabi nung mga kaano mo.
Opo, yun po. Gusto kong saklaruhin na wala naman po talaga akong pakialam kung sino man talaga yung nasa tuktok niya na nagmamaniobra sa Bureau of Customs eh. Kung sino pa yan. At ang nagsasabi naman yan sila. Nakita niya naman yung mga text messages. So wala rin naman akong dahilan para siraan itong mga taong ito, sila Paulo Duterte at Manscarpio.
Naniniwala naman ako sa'yo. Kasi ako naniniwala ako sa'yo na ang gusto mo lang, punto de vista mo is mapaganda yung negosyo mo. And I believe you on that. Ganito lang, gusto ko lang tanungin, may na-mention ka na Chinese name na from the place of origin ng itong shipment na to. Ano yung consignee kasi hindi siya accredited dito?
Yun po yung Hongfei. Yun po yung Hongfei export, import. Ako ba?
How is this connected with Michael Yang? Because I've mentioned somewhere the name Michael Yang. I'm sorry, I've heard about Michael Yang. Was it you, Jimmy Guban, or ikaw ba, Mark?
Siya po yata.
Okay, sige. Gusto ko lang maintindihan. So itong itong kumpanya na ito sa China, wala silang accredited. So they need a partner here, local consignee, tama ba?
Yo po. Doon po pumapasok.
How many times is this company in China been sending shipments to the Philippines and needed more local consignees? Would you know?
Base po doon sa nakita kong investigasyon doon sa Senate, kasi may logbook sila eh. Marami din silang iba pang mga broker consignee na ginagamit.
Okay.
So, wala na po akong personal knowledge kung ilan.
I think, Mr. Chair, this is very important, no? Kasi if what Mark Taguba is telling us is true, na itong, pakiulat nga, yung company na yon, yung Chinese company. Hongfei. Now, if this is true, kasi sa kanila galing yung shipment, di ba? Tapos kumuha lang si Mark ng local consignee kasi hindi nga sila accredited sa customs. So they cannot actually do business here in the country. They cannot export. So somebody has to claim ownership over these shipments. If that is true, then I believe we need to go back to how many times has this company been sending shipments? And what are the consignees? Kasi baka naman up to now, hindi natin alam, baka pumapasok pa itong mga ito, di ba? Itong company na ito. So, may I request, Mr. Chair, I believe we have our partner here at the Bureau of Customs. Maybe we can request for that data, no? Para po malaman namin kung paano. Yung shipment na, kasi I'm sure you also have a data with, kung ano yung local consignee, yung shipment, place of origin, yung shipment nitong kumpanya na to, at saka yung mga consignees na nag-claim ng ownership, no, doon sa mga shipment na to. Maybe we can, that can help us probably, Mr. Chair.
So, Attorney Buko, can you provide the
Yes.
committee data on Hongfei, no? Hongfei ba yan? Hongfei, yung
Okay.
Mr. Richard Chen.
Yes po, Your Honor.
So, yung owner ng Hongfei is Mr. Richard Chen, or yung Chinese name niya is Chen Julong. Tama, no?
Yes po, Your Honor.
So, I'm sure he has a lot of importations in the past. O baka hanggang ngayon, meron pa yan. So, pakibigyan ng datos ang committee ito.
Gusto natin tulungan. Yes, please.
Yes, Mr. Chair. We will provide the...
Sige, maraming salamat.
Because we want to help out also customs on how to surveillance and protect our borders from the entry of these contrabands, no? We want to help them out because what I see, Mr. Chair, based on the testimony of Mark Taguba, we're dealing with transnational crimes,
Yes.
in drugs. Transnational to. Hindi lang ho ito, nagkukuha lang sila ng mga partners nila dito sa Pilipinas para lang maipasok yung kanilang shipment. We're talking about how many tons of shabu, diba? It's so shocking to me, Mr. Chair, and it's mind-boggling because the time that 6.7 tons of shabu was smuggled in the country during the time when the Philippines was declared a war against drugs. So parang napaka-ironic kung kailan pinapatay yung mga tao sa daan, tsaka pumasok yung ang laking tonelada ng shabu. So we are looking at transnational crimes here, Mr. Chair. So we want to help out also Customs, our partner agency,
Okay.
Customs. For my last, I think my last two questions lang po, Mr. Chair.
Sige, last two questions,
Mark?
Congressman Madjo.
1 year kang nagnegosyo. I mean, sabi mo, 2017, 2018, di ba?
Yes po. Your
Okay. So, ibig sabihin, sa palagay mo ba itong Davao Group na to, nandyan na ba sila? Matagal na? Before your entry?
Honor. Wala po akong
Okay, wala kang
personal
idea. So,
knowledge.
maybe I'll ask Jimmy Guban. Jimmy, narinig mo naman yung testimony ni no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yung mga sagot ni Mark Taguba. By the way,
Yes, Your Honor.
magkakilala ba kayo ni Mark before itong mga kasong to at yung nangyari?
Yes, Your Honor.
Magkakilala na kayo?
Yes, Your Honor.
Pero have you ever done, business or transaction
Your
together?
Honor, nakikita ko siya, Your Honor, sa office ng CIS.
Oh, pero hindi mo siya kilala like personal na pare, may papasok or ano,
Wala kaming usapan po na ganyan kasi yung tatay niya used to be a former customs, Your Honor.
Okay, so ano yung masasabi mo doon sa sinasabi niyang Davao Group?
That is correct, Your Honor, from the start of 2016. In fact, even yung positioning sa bureau, nanggagaling sa Davao Group.
Okay.
So, kaya si Mark ay nag-enroll sa Davao Group para mabilis ang facilitation ng kargamento nila. So, yung 40,000 na sinasabi niya, yun yung may resibo lang na pumapasok sa customs. Maybe 10,000 or 15,000 sa shipping line. Then the rest of that, ay doon na yung sa grupo ng Davao Group.
Okay.
So, regardless na po yun, kung anong klaseng kargamento ang papasok, which is kaya nag-proliferate ang illegal drugs, illegal, pati na ho agricultural products, ang dami po noon. Kasi hindi ho kontrolado ng custom officials ang Bureau of Customs. It's the Davao Group that was controlling during that time.
Okay.
Congressman
Yes,
Adjong,
please,
just, I saw Major Cascola nodding his head. Does that mean that you are confirming what Jimmy Guban is saying?
Yes, Your Honor.
So alam niyo yung ganong sistema o kalakaran sa loob ng customs?
Sir, it has always been the system, Your Honor.
Okay, would you be able to name people who are behind these kinds of system?
Unfortunately, Your Honor, I've been assigned to the Port of Iloilo for 7 years before I was transferred. Just this October 2024. Other than that, Your Honor, the happenings during those times, 2016 to present, I do not have much knowledge, but I can get only information through the grapevine.
So grapevine information lang. Pero dun sa post mo sa Iloilo,
Yes, Your Honor.
is this happening?
No, Your Honor, because the Port of Iloilo only just recently had containerized shipment. So before that time, only bulk shipments were brought to Iloilo.
Bulk shipments meaning wala sa kundi containerized.
Yes, Your Honor.
So hindi pwedeng itago. Ibig sabihin, makikita
Wala.
mo kung
Wala,
yan ay
Your Honor.
semento, bigas.
Yes, Your Honor.
So iba talaga yung nasa loob ng container.
Yes, Your Honor.
So ngayon, containerized ang shipments dumadating dyan.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you now with the Manila port or still in Iloilo?
I'm now the executive officer of the Customs Narcotics Office.
Oh, okay, sige. Please
For my
continue.
last,
Mr.
I
Chair,
guess, okay, so,
Mr. Chair,
Congressman Abante.
alam ko na marami rin ka rin alam. So, are you willing to talk to us in an executive session to tell us everything that you know?
I will try my best to answer all your questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. Please proceed.
Yeah,
Last
Mr.
for your
Chair,
last question.
For my last question, I believe Mr. Guban, maski hindi ito ata kinwento or sinabi ni Mark as a form of responses sa aming mga membro ng committee, alam mo na may kalakaran na ginto. Tama po ba? Yung Davao Group, alam mo.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, even without his testimony or without his answers, you already know that there is a group called Davao Group operating within customs.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, sige. So, Mr. Chair, for my last, maybe Mark Taguba, do you still stand your position that you have no idea whatsoever na itong shipment na inarrange niyo ni Mr. Kenneth Ong na galing kay Hong something yung tapos kumuha ka lang ng local consignee, ay may lamang droga. Do you still stand with that?
Wala
Mr.
po
Chair?
kaming alam.
Wala
sa-
kang kaalam-alam. Okay.
Wala po talaga. Sige.
Mr. Chair, for my final manifestation, Mr. Chair, I would like to manifest, I guess, no, that the testimony of Mr. Taguba is in fact corroborated by Mr. Guban. No, kasi alam niya maski hindi niya na ano. In fact, before we invited Mark Taguba, Jimmy Guban already relayed to us portion of that kind of arrangement and what you call this, yung ganong klaseng pagpapalakad. And then he also mentioned about certain names which appears to be names mentioned by Mr. Taguba. And yet they don't know each other. They know maybe sometimes nakikita sila, but they are not type of persons na friends or nagkaroon ng negosyo. So, Mr. Speaker, the fact that they not that close and they haven't done any business together, no, as a tracker who's doing business in customs, as a former head of the intelligence division in the customs, makes, Mr. Chair, to my knowledge, not my understanding, it makes their testimony more believable. Because there's no reason for one of them to lie for the benefit of the other. Hindi naman magbe-benefit, Mr. Chair, si Mr. Guban kung mag-corroborate. So I think, Mr. Chair, it's a parang ano, yung sinasabi po nila sa English na cut from the same cloth kung titingnan natin yung storya nila. So it makes it believable, Mr. Chair, because there's no point for either Jimmy Guban or Mark Taguba to lie to benefit either of the two, Mr. Chair. So, Mr. Chair, para sa akin po, we need to, apart from looking at the real scenario, who are the culpable persons involved in this kind of transaction, particularly the case of Mr. Guban and Mr. Taguba. I think I'm confident, Mr. Chair, no, I'm just saying this, that under the current leadership of our commissioner right now, and with all of this information coming out, this committee, Mr. Chair, this committee can help out, and I believe the current leadership of the Customs is really committed to really reform the Bureau of Customs and really strengthen our borders from protecting our streets from the entry of contrabands. And we do have confidence in the Bureau of Customs currently, and we do not want to help you out. Okay, so yun po, that's my last manifestation. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair. Maraming salamat, Mark. Maraming salamat, Jimmy.
Okay, thank you, Congressman Adyong. The next interpellate is Congressman Paolo Ortega. You have 10 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll make it a little short because most of the questions have already been asked to Sir Taguba. Itong tanong po na to, pwede pong sagutin ni Sir Mark at ni Sir Jimmy kahit magkasunod po. Masasabi niyo po ba na nung time na yon yung Davao Group ang pinakamainit na grupo, kumbaga sila yung pinakamagandang grupo na maging part ng negosyo o maging katrabaho nung time na yon?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Yes. Ikaw, Sir Jimmy, ano masasabi mo dun sa time?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Kumbaga, it is the hottest item in the menu, parang ganun, no?
Yes, Your Honor. From the start, after the outtaking from Malacanang, ganun po ang
Hanggang
customs
matapos.
nakainit.
Maraming salamat. Balikan ko lang, no, Mark, kasi na-mention mo na kanina from the questions posted by our honorable colleagues, our members. Itong Davao Group na to na kasama po si Tita Nani, Jojo Bacod, Congressman Pulong Duterte, and different actors. Masasabi mo ito yung composition ng Davao Group, Mark?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Sino masasabi mo na head o leader ng Davao Group na to?
Well, tingin ko po si Paulo Duterte po.
Yan po ba ay common knowledge po sa inyong pinagtatrabahuan dati?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Normal na napag-uusapan, parang it's passed around, hindi po walang alanganin, wala pong masasabi na hindi kayo sigurado.
Yes po, Your Honor.
With that, Mr. Chair, I will end my short interpellation, but I'll add a brief manifestation kasi na-shock po ako dun sa sinabi ni Mr. Jimmy Guban, and I'd like to ask him kung pwede niya pong ulitin. Since, sabi niya po kasi, since time immemorial, nangyayari na po lahat ng mga to. Not only with our problems with drugs, pero po nasabi niya po yung tungkol sa ating sa bigas or sa agricultural products. Tama po ba, Sir Jimmy?
Yes po, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Chair, siguro yung knowledge po na nalalaman ni Sir Jimmy tungkol po dito, not only with drugs, but not only with what we're tackling now, pati po dun sa bigas, will be a vital source of information po, lalo po sa ating Quintacom, Mr. Chair. So I would like to manifest na we should consider na adding as a resource person sa Quintacom si Mr. Jimmy Guban. Again, thank you, Mr. Chair, for the time.
Okay, thank you, Congressman Ortega, for that short
Mr. Chair.
interpretation. Yes, Congressman Abante.
If I can just advise Mark Taguba, no? You want to be a legitimate businessman, correct?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Huwag ka na mag-ano ng mga illegal pang kontrabando para hindi mo na kontakin pa yung Davao Group, di ba?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Inisip mo yung sarili mo. Yun ang unang-unang dapat mong gawin. Oh.
Yes po, Your Honor.
At then, I would like to ask Mr. Chair if we can ask Mr. Taguba to submit to us his personal ledger. Doon nakalista yung mga pinagbigyan mo ng pera at kung sino-sino.
Yes po, Your Honor.
Meron ka bang notebook o listahan?
Hahanapin ko pa po yun. Matagal na po kasi 7 taon na nakakalipas.
Sige. Para pagka ito yung nakita mo, submit mo dito sa committee.
Yes po, Your Honor.
Okay, so before the next interpellator,
Mr. Chair.
if I may, I'll just ask a few questions kay Jimmy Guban. Jimmy, yung bang Henry Tan na nabanggit mo kanina, isa siya sa kagaya ni Mark Taguba na player sa customs. When I say player sa customs, siya ang nagpa-facilitate ng mga importation.
Financier, Your Honor.
Financier.
Binibigay, katulad po yun kay Mark. Si Mark, merong Chinese na kausap, binibigay sa kanya. So si Mr. Henry Tan, isa rin ganun.
So, halimbawa, kagaya nung nabanggit kanina ni Mark, yung bang si Hong Fei ay kakilala mo?
Hindi po, Your Honor.
So, paano siya naging kliyente mo?
Si Kenneth Dong po kasi ang kliyente ko eh. So,
Sige. So, bali, ang middleman ay si Kenneth Dong. And then, etong si Henry Tan ay ganun din ang kanyang partisipasyon.
Opo, Your Honor.
Parang sila yung naghahanap na mag-i-import dahil meron silang kakilala sa loob ng customs para maipalabas yung mga importation na ito.
Yes, Your Honor. Marami silang consignees, the same with Mark.
Okay.
Merong 3, 5. Din yung mga shipper from the port of origin, sila ang nagmamanage nun. So, in fact, kung i-share ko kay Mark, yung shipper dapat nun ay makuha nila para pag galing doon sa port of loading, port of origin, malalaman kung sino yung mga incorporator din nun.
Okay.
Then malalaman po natin kung sino ang nag-load.
Pero posible rin, no? Posible rin na yung mga incorporator fictitious. Hindi totoo.
Yes, Your Honor. Ganon po ang ginagawa. Most common po ang Chinese businessman. Kaya ayaw nila dito magkaroon ng sariling consignee. Kasi karamihan doon may violation na eh. Dahil karamihan po noon, in-French product po pagkagaling China. In fact,
Okay.
karamihan po ng importation ay bawal. I think, if I'm not mistaken, nang umatin ako ng seminar, around the world, that is 80%. Pagkagaling sa China, dapat niya nasa red lahat. To include agricultural products.
So, dapat, is that a customs policy? Yan ba ay policy, Attorney Buko? Na lahat ng importation na galing ng China ay dapat nasa red lane?
Not necessarily, Your Honor.
So ano yung mga maaaring hindi mapasok sa red lane na galing China na importation?
I'm not certain, Your Honor.
So how would you now classify any importation coming from China na maipasok sa red lane? So si Attorney Buko muna, anong 'di ba kasi merong classification, 'di ba? So, normally, kapag ang importation, ang goods ay galing ng China, ay red lane kaagad yan. Tama? Ngayon, unless accredited at merong magandang track record yung nag-i-import, yun lang siguro ang pwede maging green lane. Tama?
Green or yellow, Your Honor.
Green or yellow, no? Pag yellow, may inspection. Pag green, walang inspection. Tama? So, tama ba yun, Jimmy?
Your Honor, medyo okay po, tama po yun. Yung intelligence group po ng Bureau of Customs, under po niya yung Risk Management Office. Where yung selectivity ay under din po noon, yun yung 5. May super green lane pa nga po eh. Then green, then yellow, then red. 5 po
Super
yun.
green lane?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that part of the classification under the policy of the Bureau of Customs?
Yes, Your Honor. There is such a super green lane for...
Super green, green, yellow, and then red. Okay, sige. Thank you. Tapos,
Yes, Your Honor. Ang nag-classify po niyan under the Risk Management Office. So may hipi po yun under ngayon ng, if I'm not mistaken, under po yan ng Deputy Commissioner for Intelligence.
So,
This is where intelligence, kung gaano po ka-importante. Kaya nga ako, yung source ko po ng intelligence is not from the Philippines. It is always my source from abroad.
so ibig
Dahil
mong,
sorry po.
so, ibig mong sabihin na yung intelligence data, ayan ang basihan para kung ilalagay sa red, yellow, green, o super green.
Yes po, Your Honor.
O sige, hindi, malinaw na kasi hindi familiar sa amin sa akin, no, personally, yung color coding na yan.
That is why, Your Honor, there is profiling. There was profiling ever since eh. Nailagay na yan dyan.
So all shipments na dumarating sa
Yes, Your
atin, may
Honor.
profiling kayo?
Yes, Your Honor. Supposed to be gagawin kung hindi po nabubulag yung manager na
So
nandoon.
kahit na ito ay isang importation ng isang legitimate company rito, may profiling
Yes,
pa rin
Your
kayo?
Honor, complete po. Kaya nga po nadidetermine according to the World Customs Organization. Kaya po, pag mga international companies, nandoon po yan sa Super Green Lane according to the World Customs Organization. Kasi yan po ay proven na talagang malinis, malinaw ang mga kargamento.
Okay,
So
sige.
nagkakaroon po ng green, ng yellow, ng red, dahil po yun dahil sa profiling. Nalalaman po natin yung sa mga partner natin abroad na itong kargamento na to, nag-iipit. So lalo na po pag China. Nag-schooling po ako ng ilan, pero palagi ang target ang China eh. Kasi nga nandoon karamihan, 80% halos ang produkto nun ay gaya-gaya. So yun po ang
Yung
inano
fake,
ngayon ng
fake.
IPO.
Ang ibig
Your
sabihin,
Honor.
gaya-gaya, fake.
Fake, Your Honor.
Okay.
So kaya po kalamitan dyan talaga, karamihan dyan ay nandoon sa red, yellow. Palaging may examination yan, may x-ray. Then pagdating po doon sa valuation, inaayos din po yun kasi marami po doon, ang karamihan talaga ay mali ang deklarasyon.
Di ba, bago naman paratingin dito, doon sa port of origin, may mga dokumentong ina-advance papunta rito, correct? Attorney Buko.
Yes, Your Honor.
And what do you call this document?
Your Honor, those are the shipping documents such as the inward foreign manifest, the bill of lading, the
Okay.
invoice.
And in that bill of lading and forward manifest, nandyan naka-identify kung ano yung mga yan.
Yes, Your Honor. The importer, the description of the goods, the quantity, the weight, etc.
Even the value of the goods.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Now kay Mark Taguba. Mark, yung pinacilitate mo yung container na yan na naglalaman ng magnetic lifter, tama? Magnetic lifter. Ano ba yung nasa laman ng container na pinacilitate mo?
A cylinder po.
Yung cylinders, no, na naglalaman ng shabu. Wala. Anong declaration? Anong nasa bill of lading?
Ayun nga po, ang nakalagay lang po doon, hindi ako nagkakamali. Footwear, cutting board. Wala pong nakalagay
So,
na metal
ikaw
cylinder.
bilang tracker and customs facilitator, hindi mo na sinisiguro. Pagka nakalagay dun sa dokumento, ito ay footwear, general merchandise, okay na sa iyo yun.
Opo.
So, hindi mo alam na kung ang totoo palang laman nun, maaring baril, maaring drugs.
Pwede ko pong idagdag sana. Kaya rin naman isa sa mga nanigurado din ako na walang laman na kung ano pa man yun. Kasi po ay may AFTA po yun eh. Kasi yan China Free Trade Agreement. So yun po ay may...
AFTA. Is that a certification?
Opo, galing
Okay.
China. So yan po, pinatunayan po sa korte ng examiner na totoo po yun.
So, ay, yung ibig sabihin, kung titingnan natin mabuti, dahil may AFTA certification yan, sa mata ng China, ang kanilang pinarating dito ay illegal.
Yes po. Kasi po,
So
merong,
may kasapakat sila doon. Meron silang kasabwat doon.
yun, wala po akong personal knowledge doon. Pero-
Kasi hindi naman maaaring ilagay nila sa bill of lading na may shabu dyan.
Tama po kayo.
At hindi naman nila isi-certify.
Pero tama po kayo doon. Pero sa side po namin, dahil tinatakan po yun ng Quarantine Bureau, pag Quarantine Bureau po, physical inspection po yan. So sa aming side, walang problema. Okay lang yung... Yun lang naman yung ano namin.
So
yung basihan namin.
nung nakita mo may certification ng AFTA,
Yun ang
nagtiwala ka na walang droga yan.
Yun po kasi yung pinaka-protection din namin na
Okay.
para hindi masangkot sa mga ganyan.
So ibig sabihin, may kasabwat sila ron.
Maaari po.
Hindi ba? Kasi hindi naman magse-certify yung China na ito ay AFTA kung talagang ininspeksyon nila ang laman ng kinaga sa loob ng container.
Your Honor, tunay kaya yung AFTA?
So malaking question din yan. Pag-usapan din natin yan sa susunod. But